You're managing your house and your kids and your business, and everything feels like it's on fire. Want another one shift that took me from overwhelmed and scattered to focused and totally thriving in control in my home and business? That's what we're diving into today, and I promise it's simpler than you think. When I first started my business, I had no idea what I was doing. No clue. Nothing felt strategic. I was just making stuff up as I went. I was doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing. And every day I'd wake up with a ton of things that needed to get done. But when I finally sat down to work and my baby was napping or whatever it looked like, I was wasting time trying to figure out where to start today or where I left off 3 days ago, the last time I was able to work. But guess how I fixed it? I totally fixed it. And guess what I did? Not with another notebook or paper planner. I did not fix my business that way. I created a strategic system called a workflow. It's a system that showed me exactly what to focus on, when to do it, and how to connect all of my bigger goals into what I was actually doing. Have you ever heard of Trello, Notion, Asana, etc.? I'm still using this system today. If you don't know me yet, I'm Chelsi Jo, and if you are wondering how to make this small shift in your own thought process so you can grow into the CEO of your business, I'm sharing all of the shifts that changed everything for me in this episode and how you can do the same. Let's walk through these 3 mindset shifts and strategy upgrades that took me from chaos and clarity as a work from home mom into the thriving CEO that I am today. All right, the first big shift that I made was I stopped trying to get through my to-do list and I actually pressed pause and started building out strategic workflows instead. What does that mean? It was like this major shift in my head where I was like, oh my gosh, I should stop doing the madness and create a solution so that I don't have to keep doing this. I used to feel like my whole day was just me trying to get through these things. And then I realized I was writing the same things down over and over and over again. And it was keeping me from the really big, important things that needed to get done, projects that I just couldn't finish. I was chasing productivity and I wasn't building strategy on the back end of my business. I was recreating graphics, posts, nurture emails, DMs, documents, presentations, literally basically everything from scratch every time. And this was pre-AI, when we actually had to use our brains to manually redo everything every single time. I was driving myself crazy and I knew that there had to be another way. Problem was when I was typing into Pinterest and Google, templates for Trello, template workflows, everything that I downloaded and tried to use was not fixing the problem. They were maybe able to work for that one person, but I could see flaws in all of it. So I created very strategic workflows to fix my problem, and come to find out they can fix other business owners' problems too. What is a workflow? A workflow is just a repeatable system that tells you what to do, when to do it, and how to connect all of these things to an end goal. It's how you get from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time possible. I literally started creating workflows for everything, for podcasting, promotions, emails, client work, coaching, course creation, public speaking, literally everything, podcast pitching. It didn't matter what it was. I was like, this is something that I want to do again. And I don't want to have to remember any of it. I want it out of my brain and I want it repeatable. I removed the guesswork from my entire business. My work time turned scattered energy into strategic action like that. That's the first step to stepping into being a CEO, even as a work from home mom. Here's the second shift that I made. I stopped treating my business like it was just a never-ending to-do list and started thinking like a CEO over all of the things that had to get done. Here's the truth. CEOs of any companies don't grow a business by just reacting to fires. They don't just try and take whatever's coming at them and do the best that they can with them. They grow them by executing a very specific and strategic plan. Once I started asking myself really good questions like, what actually is moving the needle? What was the thing that got me all of that attention or traction or leads or sales? What was it that actually made sense and worked? Plus, another question that I asked myself a lot and still do is, what can I automate? What can I delegate? What can I delete? What can I literally not do anymore? Is it bringing me a lead? Is it bringing me a sale? Is it helping my students? Is it helping my clients? No. Why are we doing it? That is constantly still a question that I'm asking myself. But as soon as I thought that those questions were the right questions to ask myself, that's when a major shift happened. Even when it was just me in my business and I didn't have a team of people, this was really important. Building a business isn't about being busy and doing things. I know it looks like that on everybody's Instagram and TikToks that they're doing all of this. But if they're not really making impact or income, it's just a hobby. It's about making really smart strategic decisions with the time that you do have. If it's 5 hours, you better make that 5 hours the best 5 hours you've ever had in your business. If you got 15 hours, better make it great. If you got 20 hours, better not squash it. Like, you can do so much in an hour. You can do so much. I run this entire company with multiple people that work for me in 20, sometimes 25 hours a week. Why? Because of these systems that I set up. And honestly, this kind of thinking was really powerful and is still really powerful for me and any business owner that's scaling and growing a team. But here's why I actually started thinking this way. I became obsessed with getting in and getting out of my business as quick as possible. Why? Because I had babies to feed, to love, to hug, to bathe, to play with, to put to bed, to interact with, I had a house to clean, I had laundry to do. I had a life outside of being a CEO, but I really needed to make money for my business. And so when I sat down to work, it needed to really matter. That is why this was so important for me, and I took it very seriously. All right, last major shift. Here is something that is going to be so hard for you to break in your mind. Like, you literally are going to have the hardest time disassociating with this thing, but just hear me out. It's actually just flip the switch. Here's what you have to shift. You don't need more time. You need more clarity. What does that mean? The only way that you're going to get way more done in your business in way less time is not by having more time to get caught up and get everything done. You'll just keep perpetuating that over and over and over again. I used to believe that with just a few extra hours, I'd finally get it all done. But no, I needed direction. I needed a path and a clear, big ball of momentum forward. So I started implementing workflows like my content calendar so that I was consistently producing the same content, not all over the place, not on a whim. And there was purpose behind what I was creating, behind the emails I was sending, behind the posts that I was posting, behind all of it. The way that I commented in my Facebook group got insanely strategic. I started creating incredible workflows. One of them is my trademarked cockpit that rinse and repeats my daily, weekly, monthly tasks. Those things are the things that people get stuck in the weeds with, and they never get above that. They never rise above it. And I was like, we're not spending more than a few hours a week here. I also created recurring processes, like a system for these processes for every single thing in my ever evolving business, podcast pitching and how I was working with my clients, how I was supporting my students, all of it, every single piece of it. And once I did that, everything changed. I started showing up consistently. I had margin for creativity again, right? My podcast blew up. Everything was happening consistently. And I finally had that momentum, and that momentum grew me into where I'm at now. And that momentum is bigger than it's ever been. And now we're growing even bigger than we've ever grown. Not because I'm working more, not because I'm doing more, but because I shifted from chaos into really organized clarity, from just getting by and doing what I can to having real purpose behind the actions that I was taking. If you want to see what this actually looks like in your business, you want to see examples, you want to see the workflows, you want to see the cockpit, all of it, I have a completely free workshop called the Workflow Workshop. You can head over to chelsijo.co/workflow workshop and see the entire process. You'll get a really powerful workbook that we're going to go through together so you can walk away knowing 3 really important things: how to get consistent work hours for your business, how to get way more tasks completed in less time, and how to organize every part of your business. Those 3 things can literally be yours. You can see them, watch them, and know how to do this in your business right now, today. You can watch it on demand anytime you want. chelsijo.co/workflow workshop. Go save your seat. I would love to see your name pop up that you've registered, and maybe we can hang out and chat inside of the workshop too. So if you're in a season where everything feels like way too much right now, if this is like ringing a bell and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is totally me, spinning your wheels, starting and stopping, wondering why nothing's sticking, feeling like a failure, unsure if you're even cut out for this, just know that you don't need more time. You just need to get organized so you can have clarity on what you're doing with the time that you do have. That time could be used for something incredible. And then your business grows within the 5 hours. And that growth can keep on happening within those 5 hours. You don't naturally just need to add on more time in order to grow. Do you hear me? Drop it down in the comments below and tell me what it would do for you if you had clarity in your business. What kind of CEO could you be? Let's support each other, share some different ideas, and help us all grow into the moms and business owners that we were designed to be.